Morning, everyone. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Here.
Mr. Franco.
I'm here.
Mr. Cabrera.
Here. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the notice requirement has been satisfied as to the time, place, and date of holding said meeting by posting notice on the bulletin board here in Borough Hall and by mailing and emailing same to the Herald of Cape May County, the Gazette Leader, and the Press of Atlantic City on December 7th, 2022. In the event of an emergency, your emergency exit is the way you came in, which is our front left, your back right, or our front right, your front left towards the American flag. A couple quick announcements. Thanks to Vicki, this meeting is now being shown live here today on the borough's YouTube channel and also on the borough's Facebook page. Vicki, thanks for saving the morning. If you watch the recorded version of this meeting and you have questions, you're more than welcome to email our clerk at clerk@wildwoodcrest.org or call her directly at 609-729-8040. And if you're watching the meeting live and you have a question that you'd like to ask or a public comment to be made, you're going to dial the access code 888-363-4734, and when prompted, you're going to enter the access code 969-9020, followed by the pound or the hashtag. I believe we have 3 ordinances, 2 for adoption and 1 for introduction, Madam Clerk.
That's correct. The first is ordinance number 1403 regarding rental property requirements.
Motion that ordinance number 1403 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
Second that?
Been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1403 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1403 reads as follows. An ordinance amending and supplementing Section 56A-5 of Chapter 56A, Rental Properties of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest, requirements for a mercantile license.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1403.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1403 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open for public comments on ordinance number 1403. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. Hearing none, we'll move on to the conference line. Is there anybody on the conference line to have any public comments on ordinance number 1403? Hearing none.
Motion that a public hearing on ordinance number 1403 now be closed.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1403 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that ordinance number 1403 be passed in second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1403 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is ordinance 1404 regarding land use zoning permit fees.
Motion that ordinance number 1404 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1404 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1404 reads as follows. An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 39, Land Use Procedures, Article 2, Zoning Officer, Section 39-7, Zoning Permit Application Fees and Escrow Deposit of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion that public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1404.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that public hearing on ordinance number 1404 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open to the public. Ordinance number 1404. Anybody here in the audience? Hearing none. Anybody on the conference line? Entertain a motion.
Excuse me. Motion that public hearing on ordinance number 1404 now be closed.
Second that?
Been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1404 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that ordinance number 1404 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1404 be placed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 1405, and it reads as follows. An ordinance vacating a portion of Syracuse Avenue situate to the north of Bayview Drive, as shown on page 6 of the tax map of the Borough of Wildwood Crest, abutting Block 138, Lot 2, Block 139, Lots 3, 4, and 5.
Motion that ordinance number 1405 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on July 19th, 2023 at 5 p.m.
Second it.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1405 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on July 19th, 2023 at 5 p.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have the resolutions. The first is authorizing a contract award for an amateur sand sculpting contest.
I'll motion that.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is canceling erroneous 2023 sewer rents in the amount of $124 for property located at 130 West Lavender Road.
Motion.
Second?
It's been forwarded, it has been motioned and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
And the next three are all on consent agenda. The first is release of escrow funds for permit number SO22-0501 in the amount of $637.50. The second is SO22-0502 in the amount of $592.50. And the third is SO22-0505 in the amount of $592.50.
All motion by consensus.
Oh, second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolutions be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Okay, brings us to correspondence. We have none listed. We'll start off with the first round of public comments. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. Public comment.
Just your name,
Just
please.
need your name.
Jerry Sieber.
Go
I'm
ahead.
a volunteer to an organization called U.S. Term Limits. We are petitioning for term limits for Congress. Term limits for Congress is a critical issue with the people. I am here to ask you, as elected officials, if you would like to join the people and sign the petition for term limits for Congress.
Okay. Solicitor, any?
I think that, if I understand you correctly, you're just addressing the commissioner's individual elected officials and whether or not they would.
I'm also addressing the people if they'd like to sign the petition.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Mayor, I think probably, he wants to visit you on business hours in your
Yeah.
offices, your respective business hours, you could do it then.
Yeah, just want to make sure you're not asking for the borough for, are you asking for the borough for a resolution, or are you asking?
Well, that would be nice. That would be nice if you
Yeah,
could
and-
do that, but right now, I'm
Okay.
just asking if you as a citizen would like to join your fellow citizens and sign the petition.
Okay,
In Cape May County alone, I've already gotten over 10,000 signatures.
understood. And you guys hang out usually in Middle Township, I see a lot of your vehicles and kind of folks congregating there when I drive through there.
Well, the people are signing on, so that's why I'm here. I'm going to every municipality in Cape May County seeking your support.
Right, and what term, you say term limits, how many terms are you?
Well, the way we're trying to do it is Article 5 of the Constitution says that the states have the right to call for a constitutional convention by which they would determine term limits for Congress, because Congress will not allow this to happen. So we are going Article 5 calling for, we want the state of New Jersey to apply to the convention. That's all the people of New Jersey would ask.
Okay.
Apply to the convention.
And that's the basis of that petition that you have, to sign that, that's what you're supporting?
Yeah, term limits, once again, is our priority as a petitioning body. And what is put on the table, what people don't want anymore is career politicians, 40, 50 years. It distorts the balance of power. There's too many individuals with too much power. We'd like to fix that. What's on the table right now, it's not written in stone, but I think it's very fair and reasonable. 18 years. Serve your country and then go home and be a citizen again.
That's the.
Well, that's just on the table. Right now, there's endless terms, 40, 50 years. And like I said, it's not written in stone, but what I've heard is on the table is 18 years, which personally I think is very fair.
Yeah, they go in and making 150,000 or 160,000, they come out making millions, right? That's the way
We all
it
know
seems to
that.
be going on.
We
Gotcha.
all know that.
Understood. All right, thank you for your presentation. We'll be in touch with you after the meeting.
Say that again,
I
sir.
said, just thank you for your presentation. We'll be in touch with you just right after the meeting. We're going to go on to the next round of public comment.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right?
So I should wait,
Yeah,
correct?
just wait right here.
Thank you.
Anybody else, public comments?
Good morning, my name is Steve Tarnowski. I'm at 5401 Lake Road. And in the fall, I came here and identified a concern I had with the flooding back at Lake Road in Cressy. And I just want to commend you guys on responding to the flooding and voting in for the ordinance and the package of funds to investigate it back there. I know the engineer went out there on a sea-tow boat trying to take a look at it and following up on that, and that the work is going to be done, coming this fall with the bulkhead ends and the sewer. So I just really, I don't think it happens enough that when the administration or the governmental body responds, that people come back and say, thanks a lot. We really appreciate the work and the follow-through. Thank you.
Chris, did you hear those comments? Did you get that for the paper?
Well, it's recorded, so.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
He only got part, but the
Can we
recording
get that
won't
on the
work.
front page of the Herald?
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Public comments? Anybody on the conference line have any public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to the discussion items. There's nothing listed under new business. Old business, traffic calming. Next, we're waiting for Mr. de Blasio's proposal. Code enforcement, I understand we have an ad running.
Correct.
Back beach excavations on hold. Dredging is nothing new to report on that.
Nothing new on
Commissioner?
that.
All right. New Jersey infrastructure pre-county, I believe that we're getting ready to start moving on that. Public Works roof specifications are ready and funding is in
Funding's in
place,
place.
so we should be ready to go out to bid soon. Bayside Outfalls, speaking to Mr. Tarnowski's point, that's ready to go. Arts Pavilion, so good news is unofficially, we just attended a presentation last Thursday, and the borough it looks as though the borough is going to be awarded just a hair under $1,050,000 for the exterior of the Crest Arts Pavilion, so that's good news. Washington Avenue, Seaview Avenue, that presentation, Mr. de Blasio has a presentation coming up on that. Landscaping, nothing new with that report. Lightning detection system?
Yeah, we're looking at a different direction for it that might be more useful for all of us.
Okay. Commissioners, you have anything else you want to add on public comments?
Joe?
Yes. First of all, I'd like to congratulate John Wygan on his retirement from the police department and the promotions of Lieutenant Hebert and Sergeant Sawyer. It was a well-attended ceremony for them. It was humbling to me. It was one of the best things that I went to, and being in this position, it was tremendous. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I also wanted to make us all aware, the community aware, that this Friday at 6:30 at Ramble Road in the Beach, we have the Lifeguard Championship races. Please come out. They'll start at, like I said, 6:30 and continue probably till about 8. All are invited. We're looking for some good competition between the islands and the surrounding boroughs. Thank you.
We're moving on to Commissioner comments, then go ahead.
No, I just wanted to highlight Love Blue. Love Blue started their chapter in Wildwood in 2019 with the help of Wildwood Crest lifeguard AJ Caruso. Love Blue is a nonprofit that helps bring education and awareness to the wildlands and beaches for our beaches and sea life. To date, AJ and Love Blue have collected over 10,000 pounds of trash on our beaches. So I've been on a ton of those cleanups, and it's really, he does an excellent job. So if you're interested in moving forward with finding out when they do cleanups, check out loveblueinc.org. He's truly doing an amazing job with that whole process. So please check it out if you have time.
Okay, and my commissioner comments are very simple. Want to wish everybody a day later, happy Independence Day, July 4th. The weather certainly was cooperative and in our favor. People are happy when they're out on the beach and they're out doing the things that they can do. I noticed my email box was, I didn't get much of anything this time, so it's actually good that the sun was out and everybody was having a good time. I will say, just to remind everyone, one of the things I did see is people riding their bikes on the wrong side of the road, bikes to the right, not on the left. I saw about a couple of near accidents that just trying to keep everybody safe. And also want to thank the Public Works staff, the Recreation Department, Police Department, all the staff involved for making the outside of the borough, outside being outside the buildings, very nice, well kept, and everybody was very happy. So that's a good start to the official busy part of the season. Just keep it up. Thank you. All right, I'll entertain a motion. Actually, we got one more round of public comments. Is there anybody here that has any more public comments they would like to make? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Joe Viscomi. I know you made a comment that you're going in a different direction towards the lightning detection system. Are you still thinking about a lightning detection system?
Yes, we're just trying to figure out a way that would be conducive for all of us. There seems to be a couple of legal concerns that we want to get around. Basically, there are just different options that I'm thinking about right now. I don't want to give it up, that's for sure.
No, that's fine. And I know that Berkeley Township instituted a system that I think was similar to what you were considering last year. I believe that was the township. So it would probably be, as you're exploring it, to talk to some of the townships that have already instituted it. The other question was, whatever system, if it detects, the question would be, if it detects a lightning strike 10 miles away or 5 miles away, what's the likelihood, or statistically speaking, that we would get it here? And
that's a great question. I mean, it's just like everything else. For the last week, the weather was telling us that we're going to have tremendous thunderstorms and heavy rain, and it didn't happen. But as always, I like to err on the side of caution. You know, you don't want to clear a beach off and have 150,000 people come off from this system. I think I'd like to see if we can temper it down a little bit to give us some time, a little bit more time than less time, but not.
yes, and that's, I think, and there are a few people that have started talking about this. The worry would be that it would be a nice day, which the weekend was a weekend like this, which was reasonably nice, but it's detecting lightning 10 miles away, you evacuate the beach, and then unfortunately, the mayor's gonna get calls from hotel owners, like, you literally dumped everybody off the beach.
Yeah,
So
but you have to remember this too, that you can temp this thing down to a mile.
Right.
You know, you can back it, it
Right.
it can go out to 25 miles, which to me is a little bit overkill. But you can bring it back in to like 2,
Yeah.
3. One would be like it's right on top of you. So we did a little bit more research about it. I just wanted to put that out in the community to see the feelers of it. I still feel that there is an important need to it. It might be honed down to where we had that system directly into the beach patrol building, and then from that point, we'll see what happens. It'll give us a more of a heads up that something's coming in, and then go from there and have the trucks do their thing and
No,
call
that's,
people
I
off.
mean, that's what, and it sounds like you're addressing what a couple people's concern was.
Yeah, but we're thinking about it. It was, it's a concern of mine, that's all, because I'm on that beach and I see what happens.
And then we worry about the legal ramifications, because once you have a piece of equipment there, if something happens, do they say, well, the thing wasn't maintained correctly, it wasn't read rightly, and you should have had it? So.
Correct, or they didn't hear it.
So a story I knew that directly relates is a homeowner association had streetlights that they chose to not use anymore because the repair cost and utilities exceeded it, and majority of residents said, well, we just abandon them, quote unquote, not use them. And there was a incident, and they end up suing a homeowner association because you had this equipment there that you chose, the equipment being the streetlights, and you chose not to use them. So once we buy into certain equipment, do we now accept a liability? we had it there and we look back and we realized that they didn't read it correctly or whatever. Whereas, and again, I know that there was a fatality, I guess it was last year or 2 years ago, a lifeguard. And the other question is the aluminum life stands. I know that you're into the beach patrol. Do they been proven to be safe with, you have an aluminum life stand on that one?
Yeah, I don't want to come out and say they're proven because I don't have the documentation in front of me. I'd probably need more information. But basically, the thing is that that's not part of the reason. And that's the reason why also it's better to be proactive than reactive. So that's where I'm coming from with all this stuff.
Okay, thanks, thank you very much for
Yes, sir.
the
Thank
due
you.
diligence that looks like you're looking into it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, let's move on to public safety reports.
No, that's not.
Make sure you're out of the way.
He
All
could
right.
rattle it off.
Anybody else on public comments? Anybody on the conference line have any public comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I need a motion.
Motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?